Phil thinks the route hasn't got enough climbing, so he's getting a few extra metres in. I think he plans to do 55 laps, 4 metres per lap.
Well, welcome on and all to Bike Racing Without Mercy. It's the Exmoor Hardest 100 and my Dura Ace is skipping. 4,000 metres of climbing, much of it steep, and I can't get into the smallest gear without the chain coming off. Nice. Well, on the way over, Paul reckoned my derailleur, my rear derailleur is bent. I treated it with kid gloves, so not sure how that's happened, but Mr. Hamblett, who's a master of all things mechanical, is using a little bit of, well, brute force and ignorance to fix it. Not ignorance, Paul, I'm only joking.
There's a lot of ignorance.
There we go. Straighter, you reckon?
It's definitely straighter.
Straight, well, let's give it a 12. Here, let's see if it works. I'll gently go up. All right, so
Yes. Clicky or no clicky?
Oh,
A bit more?
that's all right.
You sure?
That's all right. Well, who'd have thought it? Paul, first fist bump of the day. Brute force and ignorance wins out, hopefully. We'll see if it lasts.
Yes.
Cheers. And down cometh the rain, and Paul tells me he's taking comfort in the fact that if it rains hard and gets cold, I'll be more miserable than him because he's got the arm warmers. 4,000 metres, 160 kilometres. 4,000 metres of elevation, that is.
Fun times.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Good one, guys.
Cheers.
See you later.
Jimmy. Nearly a crash.
Opening crash.
And off we wobble. So the hardest 100, it sets out its stall early, doesn't it, Paul?
Yeah.
Straight into an 11% climb.
Yeah, double digits within half a K.
But all is good now. Just going to ride ourselves gently into it. Not burn any matches till we need to. Well, I'm proud to present Exmoor Vistas. What do you think, Paul?
Wet.
It's been an hour of rain, but I reckon there's a bit of blue sky just up there, Paul. Fingers crossed.
I'm more pessimistic.
Because my summer finest is not looking very fine. There's a lot of mud and all that kind of stuff over me already. Langdon's climb. First time we've had a bit of sunshine.
Yeah.
Go attack quick if you want.
Sorry?
You can go attack quick if you want, it's up to you.
Yeah, I'm just keeping to
Tempo.
a reserved approach.
Sure.
Low 300s rather than we haven't done 25% yet.
Very true. This is Dunkery Beacon from the easy side, but the descent is not trivial.
Easy.
Yeah, this is a nice easy ascent.
Oh, good. Nice views up there.
Yeah, the views are good.
Marvellous. Right before you fell.
I think it's a John Deere.
John Deere.
A John Deere, green and yellow, green and yellow, yes! John Deere.
It's 90 as well.
To everybody who corrected me, I hopefully have redemption. Yeah, but thanks.
With the beams.
You know, this is nice. Quarter distance on the climbing, 1,100 metres. Peak of Dunkery Beacon. Oh, you're right.
When you get back on Exmoor.
Self-proclaimed King of Minehead.
Yep.
And the Queen of Minehead with Albie.
With the Hound of
Behind that, Lynmouth Ramp cake on the deck. Where is it? Should be a little picnic table, you know, all that kind of stuff. I said in the last video, picnic table, we could be much more civilised with these sportives. Queen of Minehead, we salute you. Self-proclaimed King of Minehead, we kind of salute you.
Subscribe!
Yeah, subscribe to Little Commas. There you go. Thanks ever so much to Mr. Scott Hewish, he of Com Hunt TV, Com Rides, Com Shorts, Behind the Com, and Scott. Go check out his many YouTube channels, TikTok, Instagram, and pretty much every social media platform known to man. Back in familiar territory. I previously stayed down there last year for the hill climb. To the left lies the much harder climb. To the right, where we're going, lies the toll road. A hell of a lot easier.
This is easier, is it?
Oh yeah. It's a lovely climb. About 5 or 6%. Yeah, nice views at the top as well.
But actually, Phil, there might be a Sportive segment, but that kind of played with the old, off-route.
Oh, it started here anyway.
No, I mean the whole Sportive, the full loop.
Oh yeah.
When you go back on yourself, my legs are really shit.
Paul's got sticky legs.
Yeah, they are. Cadence is low.
He's got sticky legs, but they're going fast. Not quite as quick as it's called.
It's not pleasant, that's the problem.
Sorry?
It's not pleasant, it should be easy, but it ain't.
It's 300 watts to me.
It's 300 watts to me as well. There must be some gravitational problems. So with North Moulton to the Moor, Langdon's Way and Dunkery from the easy side under our belts, we had a very brief pit stop to stuff our jerseys full of carbohydrates, where I also made a rash pact with Paul to go at my full gas on Porlock Toll Road. In retrospect, this was probably a tad rash given we were only 2 hours into the ride, having covered just 35 miles and 1,100 metres of elevation, with another 5 hours and 65 miles ahead of us and a not insignificant 3,000 metres of ascending, some of it steep, and in parts, for example, the Lynmouth Ramp, which was lurking menacingly in about 4 minutes' time for all of you, being I want my mummy steep. As always with Threshold, all was well for the first 10 minutes, and I was even able to bid other eventees a very good morning and respond with albeit a limited selection of words to Paul, who was nonchalantly chatting away as ever. We're avoiding crashing on the hairpins on the way up.
Sorry?
We're avoiding crashing on the hairpins.
Yeah. Porlock Toll Road is a very lovely climb, and for those of you who are competing at the hill climb event there in September, it's even more special, because no trouble is too much for the good folk of Porlock and Minehead Cycling Club. They lay on a terrific event, please do enjoy. As you'll see, my face slowly but surely morphs from polite and curious West Country tourist to mild discomfort, and then elegantly transitions through the various levels of concern to at a peak. The overall time was 19 minutes 35 seconds, requiring 20-minute power of 285 watts. Matches were indeed burned.
Okay. Beautiful.
This is pretty, isn't it? 100 kilometres to go. Oh my word. Not long after the even gradients of Porlock comes Church Hill, which is a very different proposition because the trajectory of the road has been designed by the devil. It clocks in at 1.6 kilometres, average gradient 7.5%, but this hides the reality of some very significant 15 to 25% ramps.
which in turn provide a further sapping of the energy in the legs ahead of the Lynmouth Ramp.
Yeah, we're going right. This goes down into Lynmouth. Alright, here goes nothing. The Lynmouth Ramp is on the agenda.
Not much warm up, is there?
No.
From no head.
Cold legs.
Yeah.
It gets disgusting in a second, so. The KOM is 1 minute 34 apparently.
Pardon? What, in a Ferrari?
Well, do me.
Having descended into the handsome seaside town of Lynmouth, we're immediately confronted with the Lynmouth Ramp, part of a 1.8 kilometre climb to the top of Station Hill. It's a tough old climb overall, but the ramp segment is right up there with the steepest parts of Hardknot, Porlock Hill, Rhinos and the Struggle. The key difference being that it's a single perpendicular segment of 0.4 kilometres with no turns, averaging 19%. Note once again my Wahoo Bolt stopping mid-ride because I'm going so slowly. It did restop. The ramp took an eternal 2 minutes 37 seconds where I had to dig deep into my energy overdraft in order to spend 357 watts on average. And behold the effort required. I'm sucking in leaves from all around in order to restore the oxygen deficit. Please do like, comment and subscribe if you enjoy these little adventures of a 46-year-old man and his mates in the countryside. I very much hope you'll understand that the rest of the climb was undertaken at a more leisurely tempo.
That's horrid.
Overall, taking a shade under 17 minutes.
I honestly thought I was going to have to stop. Lynmouth Ramp and a bonus climb afterwards. What do you think, Paul?
Very pleasant, very pleasant.
It wasn't. It really wasn't.
Good at the saddle action.
I nearly cried. But views on views. Onwards. We're only 80 kilometres or so into the ride. 2,000 of elevation now.
Now the backdrop to Jose's climb is supplied by the spectacular, and I mean jaw hits the floor spectacular, Valley of the Rocks. It's very much worth a visit and a bit of an explore in its own right. Please do drink it in.
Did Lynmouth before and then
Never done Lynmouth Ramp.
Oh really?
No.
Oh, so you went into Lynmouth and back up?
Up Exmoor climb. Exmoor Forest.
Yes. Yeah, because you sort of see it on the video. Obviously I saw that you came into that little bit.
We'll get steep in a minute, so let's go.
Oh yeah. In the Alps you see hundreds and hundreds of motorbikes.
Yeah.
I think there's something called the Route de Grand Alps, which basically goes east to Geneva, like on the highest road.
Oh, that's a nice gear.
Yeah, nothing like a dinner plate. Sunny Hill stops, the wind is on.
This one, this way. Another climb on the agenda.
It's 5.3 the whole way. This one is a nice one, Phil.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there'll be much over 10.
That's your definition of nice?
It could be 25 like that started earlier.
Yeah. Clean climb still.
Yeah. Little box flat around the corner.
Still on Coombe climb. Yeah, it's a nice climb this.
Best one yet for ease.
Porlock would have been good if we hadn't gone so fast.
Yeah. You were sort of in the order, so to speak.
Wowee, what a view.
Marvellous, isn't it? Sorry.
Thank you very much, that's very nice of you.
Now, after completing Jose's
Part of
climb, there was
Exmoor
still a
Forest
lot
climb here.
more work to do, and I must confess that it all became a bit of a blur of beautiful views, vistas, hedgerows, seaside views, coast, hedgerows, hills, brows, more brows, false hope of completing the hill, more brows, descent, relief, another big hill, more brows, beautiful views, etc. And thus we wound our way onwards towards the part of the Exmoor Forest climb where it starts to get really steep.
Exmoor Forest climb. Oh yes, Exmoor vistas. This is proper difficult. Just under 25 kilometers to go. All kinds of difficulty. Less than 5k to go. The final descent. Nice one, Paul. Sweet relief.
How's that? Yeah, good fun, yeah. There you go.
My favourite bit. Afternoon tea and medals.
There you go.
There it is.
7.9.
Thank you very much.
Another wooden one, that's good.
End ride. Yeah. End ride, definitively.
You still have to get back to the hotel.
I'm going to call Jane.
I'm
in all kinds of pain. To the climbers, the medals, the spoils. Paul, thank you very much for shepherding me home that final 35 kilometres.
You enjoyed that a lot.
I loved every second of it.
Dose of character.
Oh, dearie me. But
Reward.
very good. Let's go over there and look. Sun's out, guns out.
Yes.
Paul went for the tea. He's a purist, a traditionalist. I, however, sourced one of these. Cheers. Now, time for data corner. A little bit of shade there for the bolt, and you can see average power 168, normalised power 217, over 7 hours 28. We had 26 minutes stopped. So Ian Carson and Paul Alexander, once again on a normalised basis, I'm in the 220 club. Happy days. That's always like a milestone for me, and that's the biggest ride. That's the longest ride that I've been in the 220 club, so happy with that. Learning points though, Paul.
Yes.
I think we went a little bit too hard on Porlock because, 48.52. 48.52 and a left-right balance.
Yes. It's a painful number.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate seeing that. But look, here we go. 20-minute power, 284. I'm not a big enough gorilla to do 20-minute power of 284 in the middle of a sort of a 7.5 hour ride.
After only
This I
one
learned. Phil, Rich, I should have stuck to an infernal tempo, but I didn't. But I've probably learned my lesson. No, probably not. Maybe I've learned, I don't know if I learned a lesson or not. I did enjoy a little bit of threshold action there, but maybe I've learned, I don't know. We'll see.
Enjoy the suffering too much.
Yeah, I was suffering towards the top of Porlock. Anyway, onwards with the Coke. And I gotta confess, Paul.
Yes.
I've texted Jane to come and pick me up.
Oh no.
I'm not going up that climb to North Cote Manor again. That climb is 1.6 kilometres and it's steep.
Yep.
I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it.
Emergency Jane.
It's an emergency Coke and an emergency Jane. I'm sure she's on her way.